He broke the Dodgers' hearts in '77 and '78, and he is now part of the Houston Astros and as an advisor to the owner, Jim Crane. The one and only Reggie Jackson joins us live from Dodger Stadium. Reggie, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Well, you read all of that I gave you perfectly to the T. Just a little more on when you say great.
More emphasis on great. I grew up a Dodger fan, Reggie, so I can't do it too much.
I grew up a Dodger fan, too. I was a Dodger fan in the 50s. They had the only black player, Jackie Robinson, for a long time. And then, of course, Don Newcomb and Roy Campanella. And I have a Jackie Robinson bat in my archives, and I have a Roy Campanella bat in my archives. And Ruth, a Mantle, and a bunch of stuff like that. But I love the Dodgers. I've always thought that they were one of the great franchises and great brands. The O'Malleys bringing the team to Southern California. Peter O'Malley's a personal friend of mine. His wife, Annette, they're just great people. We talk at least, once or twice a month.
Cool.
And if I have some questions or whatever and need some mentoring, Peter's a great guy. And like I said, the Dodger brand for me was, I really wanted to play here when I went to the Yankees in '77.
How close was that?
I thought the team was better suited for me. I hit well in the ballpark. The Dodgers always had good pitching, and they were right-handed. They had Lopes and Baker and Say and Garvey and all these guys that could hit, and Reggie Smith, both sides of the plate. And I just thought I would have a field day here being a left-hand hitter. But I had made a deal with George Steinbrenner, Al Campanis. I had Maury Wills call me. And it was too late because I had shook George's hand. And my father was with me, and we shook George's hand, and my dad would have never let me go back, on my word.
And then
I wanted to play here.
Well, you played here, and you beat the Dodgers.
Fun.
Now, where we're standing right here behind the batter's cage, it's the same view that you had when you did all that damage against Bob Welch and Charlie Huff. What can you say about those head-to-head meetings between your Yankees and those Dodgers?
The great Tommy Lasorda has passed, but has left us some great memories. But let me watch a little batting practice here. But I used to tell Tommy, he said, if I pitched against you, I'd strike you out. And I told him, I said, you see this sign out there in left center field?
76?
Tommy, that says Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
I said, if you'd have pitched against me, they'd have changed that to Mr. October.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that didn't go over well.
He laughed, we would laugh. He said, I'd have hit you in the head. I said, no, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have.
Well, how about that play where he got fired up in '77? Yeah.
He always said I was a cheater. That was in '78 in the baseline when the ball. Yeah, but he used to always call me a cheater.
Well, those players from that Dodger team still talk about it to this day. They think you still threw out your hip.
Yeah, but that's a piece of history. No, that's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone. I got the ring.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I dropped a couple bombs on you guys, too.
Yeah, you did. The great Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, is joining us, Petros. I got to ask you, it's hard to ignore these boos coming down when Altuve and Correa go into this hitter's cage, Reggie. What do you make of this, and what do you make about these two games between the Dodgers and Astros?
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing, the two best teams. Really, the Dodgers among the top three teams when it comes to record in the league, and they really haven't hit stride. They still got a couple guys injured. They had obviously a pitcher, out and not on his game really. But the Dodgers have more to go to really get a full deck to play with. Yeah. They're playing shorthanded right now. And also too. They've got a couple other teams in the division there that can beat them, so they got to be on their game. But really, with the Astros there, I work with Jim Crane and the Astros here, and I think we're a great team, and I look forward to the two great teams playing together, and I look forward to 2 good games of baseball.
What's the dynamic between you and Dusty Baker? You played against each other, you have respect for each other, and now you're navigating the ship together.
I'd say, just mutual respect. Dusty does a whole lot more than me. that's for sure. He's the guy navigating the ship. And then, of course, our owner's in charge and our general manager, James Click. We've got a great staff of people. We've got a great coaching staff. And I'm glad to be part of what they're doing and just enjoying the baseball. Really, when they're playing well, then the job gets easy.
Before I let you go, Reggie, hard not to tap into your baseball brain and the greatness of your entire career. Is there one thing that stands out to you the most over all the other great accomplishments of your amazing career?
David, I would say that the people that I've met and the people that I've become friends with, the guys like Henry Aaron and Willie Mays, who's still alive, Joe Morgan and Johnny Bench and Pete and, Smitty, Mike Schmidt and the McCubby and those guys that I met and spent so much time with. Brooks Robinson and Jim Palmer called the other day, Nolan Ryan and those guys. And it's just a special club that you feel a part of. And I'm grateful and thankful. The great Frank Robinson was part of my life, and some of the other athletes and some of the other sports, whether it be Bill Russell or Dr. J, the guys that have carved the way and paved the way for all minorities and, to try to make the world a better place. So the game for me was about the relationships. It's a place where I can go back and be employed or be around or be invited to the game, be invited to dinner. And so I'm grateful.
Thank you, Reggie.